Dwayne with Write Your Own Ticket. Hope you're having a phenomenal Friday. I know many of you are at work, so you're probably watching this on the replay. No matter when you watch it, say hello, give it a heart, thumbs up, and share it. If you like the lives that I've been doing here, make sure you like the page so you see when I go live. And today, I want to address a topic. I just want to hit it head on because it's the honest truth. If you're going to be successful in a business of your own, you're going to have to be good at selling. But don't let that scare you. It can really be this simple. Before I jump in here, though, if you have not picked up a copy of my book and you're trying to do something you're passionate about and turn it into a side hustle or a business, don't go it alone. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't waste your time, energy, effort, and money without a guide. That guide is at wyotbook.com. Or if you just like to type in long URLs, writeyourownticketbook.com. Either one will get you there. And pick up a copy of that, $5.70. Great investment. And if you don't like it, let me know. I'll give you a refund. You can keep the book. How about that? Anyway, selling. We all run from salespeople. I'm a 23-year sales veteran, and I run from salespeople. I hate them in the traditional sense, in the sleazy, slimy, pushy, smarmy, the thing we all avoid, right? Nobody wants to be that, because here's the bottom line. Nobody likes to be sold to. Everybody loves to buy shit, okay? Let's just be honest. I do, you do. I mean, in our society, it's kind of a badge of an honor to be able to buy stuff. So what's the difference? Think about it. Whenever you were in a situation where you bought something versus when you were in a situation when you were sold something, what's the difference? Who's in control? Who initiates? But have you ever been in a situation where you walked in to a company, a store, a restaurant, anywhere, and you weren't necessarily looking for something, but somehow the person working with you got you excited about a potential opportunity, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, man, I want that. What was the difference there? I'm going to show you in this video. Again, if you haven't picked up a copy of my book, Write Your Own Ticket, How to Turn Your Passion and Profession, Do Work You Love on Your Own Terms, wyotbook.com. It's here in the comments somewhere. How do you do it? I made a little diagram because selling can be very, very simple. It should be very, very simple because you're not really selling anything. You're empowering a buying decision that the customer, the prospect, the person you're working with, the potential customer has already. You're just uncovering it, allowing them to express it, create a heat inside of themselves about it, and ushering them in to making the purchase, I guess you could say, right? So don't let sales scare you. All great entrepreneurs are great salespeople. We're all great salespeople. I hear people all the time, I'm not a salesperson. I understand. What you're saying is I don't want to come across as that person. I wouldn't do that to people. And you should not do that to people ever. But we're all salespeople from the time that we're kids. I mean, think about your kids, man. They can sell. It's annoying. It's frustrating, but they're persistent. And I'm not telling you you have to be that. I'm going to show you how to be it. Very simple. Because here's the thing. My background, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a 10-year entrepreneur. I had a sales career, 14-year sales career, successful sales career. Last 8 years, I was in the top 10, top 5 sometimes. And so I know how to sell, right? And but when I went into business for myself, for some stupid reason, I didn't think I had to sell. And that's why my business didn't grow as fast as it should, because I didn't want to be that person. But I wasn't that person. For the first 6 years of my life, I went through 9 jobs in 6 years because I refused to be that person. And I was trained in the 70s, 80s, and 90s way of selling, and I refused to do it to people. And I remember one company that I ended up working for allowed me the freedom and flexibility to be who I was and sell the way that I saw fit, and that's where everything changed for me. So I want to share with you what I did then, what I do now, how I continue to sell to build my business, the feedback I get from people who I'm working with and quote-unquote selling to, and how business happens as a result of this, okay? Again, if you need a guide to be able to not only sell, but also start your company from an idea, bring it to full fruition in the next 3 to 6 months and crush it in the next year or two, run over to wyotbook.com and grab a copy of my book. There's some free training that comes with it as well. I think that you'll really like. So here's how you do it. I drew a diagram. I want to share it with you. Hopefully you can see this. I'll hold it up here for a second. And if the camera's not on reverse, it should be pretty clear. Ask, listen, give. Ask, listen, give, ask, listen, give. And you see reverse, ask, give, listen, ask. It's a continuum. It's a back and forth. And here's what it means. Ask. I mentioned in some of my other videos, bring yourself out to the marketplace, serve 10 people, charge on the 11th, a concept I learned from Donnie Deutsch. And in the process of doing that, the first thing you need to do as you share your thoughts, your ideas, your product, your service, is ask for feedback, thoughts, ideas regarding them. Or if you don't have a product, a service, an idea, or concept, ask people about your passion and what you're thinking about putting out. And just, number 2, listen. No agenda, no hurry, no ulterior motive. Just listen to what they have to say. Now, in that conversation, you may move on to being able to give, to add value, to offer something in that process, and that would complete that continuum. But you still have to be in the mode of asking, right? And so if I was to ask a question of someone, like, for example, I'd go out and I'd do some training, and I'd put out my behavioral styles training. People love that stuff, right? But I'd ask, hey guys, what do you love most about this? What's the thing that really resonated the most? And they're always like, Dwayne, you've got to teach this to kids. You've got to teach this at church. You got to teach this to executives. You got to teach, and the feedback comes, and I listen, and I write that down, and then I give a little bit more. Hey, look, if you like that, go on my website on influenceseminars.com. Go to the video. There's an hour teach on me. Doing the behavioral styles. And I'm telling you this too, influenceseminars.com, go to the video page. The first thing there is an hour of me teaching behavioral styles. It's a lot of fun. If you're not familiar with behavioral styles, you not know how you're wired and how other people are wired, and you want a really quick teach on that, run over there. So I'm giving, but then I'm asking, hey, what'd you like most about it? Hey, what are some of the other things that you guys are interested in learning here at your company? I'm asking, and then I'm listening, and then I'm giving. Now, this continuum in a cell is created that whenever I'm asking and I'm listening and then I'm giving, one of the things that I'm eventually going to be able to give is more training in my particular situation, and that's going to cost. Sold. Because I asked, because I listened, because I understood what they wanted, and because I gave them that opportunity. Here's where this premise comes from. One of my favorite sayings from one of my mentors, John Maxwell, is leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Now, here's where that has context in selling. When I talked to Dr. Maxwell one-on-one, I was asking him about that saying, and I said, help me with the influence part. He says, Dwayne, when you influence people, you add value to their lives. But have you noticed that you can't add value to somebody's lives unless you understand what it is already the value? I said, Doc, that sounds like double speak. He said, okay, have you ever tried to do anything for somebody, give something to somebody, offer something, create something, afford somebody something, only to have them say, no, thank you. Don't want it. Don't need it. Or push it away in some respect. He said, how'd that make you feel? I said, horrible. That's what happens when we try to sell people something. He says, but have you ever spent time with somebody, just no agenda, no ulterior motive, just listen to what they said, and they tell you what they hate, what they like, what they love, where they spend their time, where they spend their money, what they're passionate about? I'm like, yeah. He said, now watch this. If you can take those things, again, listening, and give them more of, or help them to get more of what they need, want, expect, love, value, you influence them. And by nature, you lead them. And that principle works here. Why? Because whenever you ask a question and listen, you're separating yourself from most of the people in their lives. Nobody listens to anybody anymore. Everybody's talking over everybody and trying to push their agenda. The moment you become the person who asks and listens, not in a hurry to speak, not in a hurry to listen to respond, but listen and to understand, and then you couple that with giving consistently, you're going to find yourself selling stuff that you didn't even think you wanted to sell, and your business is going to skyrocket. So 3 things. Number 1, ask. Number 2, listen. Number 3, give. And if you continue to do that, you're not going to have to sell anybody anything. They're going to buy stuff from you. You just got to take your passion, your ideas, your product, your services, get around people, share with them, ask what their thoughts are, listen to what they say, make the adjustments necessary, and give back, give back, give back. Ask, listen, give, ask, listen, give, ask, listen, give. And eventually that give becomes something they say, hey, I like this. How do I get it? And it's not just with training. It's with anything. My dad tells a story all the time. My stepdad, he always tells a story about an engineer he used to work with who started doing yardscapes, landscapes, water. I don't know what they are, but like stone and water fountains and things of that nature. And he just started doing it as a hobby, started doing with friends, for friends. They started requesting he would do it out of the goodness of his heart. But then eventually the word started to spread and people started approaching him saying, hey, I saw you did this over here. How much would you charge me to do that? And then all of a sudden he had a side hustle. And before he knew it, he had to make a decision about, was he going to stay in his engineer career or was he going to build that business? And from what I understand from my dad, he left the engineering business to start his business. He was selling because he put it out into the marketplace. He asked what was value. He listened. He continued to tweak and change to make the product better, and he gave. That gave spread, and eventually it came back to him where people were asking him to buy. Selling is simple if you keep it to just those three things. Ask, listen, do something with what you hear, and give, right? So don't let selling be a scary thing. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, not only on selling and getting better at that, but also taking this concept, this passion that you have, turning it into a viable business, getting it off the ground in the next 3 to 6 months and turning it into a full-blown thing in the next couple of years, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. I'll help you put a strategy together. We'll probably spend a good hour on the phone, free of charge, and I'll give. And I'll help you have a plan. And at the end of that conversation, I'll say, look, here's your plan. Do you want to go and execute this on your own? Would you like my help? And if you want my help, we'll talk about how that looks. But before you do that, run over to wyotbook.com, grab a copy of that book. It will guide you and serve you. There's a long version, 167 pages, where I tell the backstory, give you all the soup to nuts, all the good, bad, and the ugly. But if you're a quick reader, want to get in there, get the meat, get the roadmap, there's a second version that comes. It's like 62 pages, and it's simply a blueprint. So grab it at wyotbook.com. If you like this, like the page so you see when I go live, share this with somebody. If you know somebody who's been dying to start their own business, they're an aspiring entrepreneur, they've just not been able to make it happen, send them this video or tag them in here. Give it a heart or a wow. It helps spread the message. And remember, you can write your own ticket. Do work you love on your own terms. Turn your passion into your profession. And remember, life is too short to continue to do work that sucks. This is your time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.